Hello.
Hey.
Oh, how's everybody doing?
Hey,
Doing
y'all.
great.
Welcome
to the chat.
Yes.
We are
How's
here
everybody
again.
doing?
Doing great.
I'm good, y'all. I'm just psyched. I've been psyched like all day waiting until we got so we could get
Me
up.
too.
I just have something to say about everything, like everybody's topic. I have so much like I'm like filled with excitement. I'm like in my inside are like
Yeah.
For these
I've been like,
for these last
brainstorm.
two shows? No, we got 2 more weeks, right?
we have there's 2 more Mondays after this one, and we'll be done.
Yes.
It's been great.
The guys
honestly.
are like, it's been cool, but now it's break time. But okay.
You always get that little itch, and it's like, okay.
I'm like, how many weeks is it been?
I've been having fun.
Beginning all the time. We always talk about this. It's like, okay, how much can you stand?
Yeah. Right.
No, I've been having a lot of fun. I definitely appreciate being new on the show, and me and Chanel have really been welcomed. So thank you guys for the opportunity.
I agree 100%.
Good.
But yeah, I'm having a great day. It's the day after my birthday. I turned 30.
You
Happy
turned
birthday, Amir.
Thank you.
Oh, is Amir the youngest on the show?
Yeah.
That's so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no judgment. I definitely enjoy being with y'all either way. Age is just a number, they say.
Like, we're
Either way, I don't know what that means, but okay. You ain't hanging with the old people. Shanika and
Okay,
Chanel.
now.
I was trying to be diplomatic.
I'm young, like everywhere, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
My wife took me to a resort over there across the Potomac in Virginia. We had a great time, s'mores, the indoor pool, just we had it to ourselves. It was nice, definitely nice.
Did you have the baby?
Oh yeah. My mother-in-law came in and took care of the baby for the weekend.
Wow.
So we did an escape room. We did not solve it, but we got pretty close. It was just us, and she chose the hardest one. So we got pretty far. I was like, this is fun. So I definitely one of the best birthdays I've had in a long time. So I really enjoyed that.
Well, that's great. It has to be a challenge.
Oh yeah. I love a challenge for sure, and my wife loves challenging me. But yeah, go ahead, Shanika.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I was telling everybody, make sure you go ahead and continue to share, and follow, get on in here, share with your people, because we got a lot to talk about.
Let's get a lot of people in here today, because this past week has been crazy.
Show. Oh my goodness, these topics are lit.
Yes, so we do not want anybody to miss anything, and we want to hear everybody's comment. Okay, so do y'all hear the echo? I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Thanks in advance for the birthday wishes, everybody.
Okay. So just get on in here and.
We lost Will.
Hearing myself, I'm not going to be able to do it.
But yeah, in honor of my birthday, did everybody in the comments have a great weekend?
Yeah, let me see who's watching. Don't forget to like and share, y'all. Get some of y'all friends on there. We have some amazing topics tonight. Amazing topics.
Yes, so get on in here, share with your friends, your people, and let's get it going. Okay, so maybe once Will gets back in here, go ahead and tell us where you're tuning in from too, while we're waiting on Will to come back. Yes, give us some hearts. I like hearts. I like at the end when we see all those hearts that people have put up there. Go ahead and give us some hearts. I'm going to tag some people and.
Yep, I'm doing it right now.
Yep, tagging people myself. But yeah, no, this is a great week. The topics are juicy. We've had some updates. Oh man, Derek is over here holding his wife's hand in this video. Dang, I didn't know it was like that.
I was trying to find the video. Where do you find it at?
Wait,
I just opened Facebook. Now I'm sitting here like, hold up a second. His wife, I didn't know what she looked like. I'm actually surprised.
Really? Like, oh my gosh, I can't.
So you found it on Facebook?
I really just opened Facebook. I'm not. It's on his page, Derek Jackson. I didn't know he had a Facebook page.
Okay, so he was doing so somebody yeah, I don't see that, but anyway, I see him the first video that he did. All right, okay. All right, so Will's coming back in and we are going to get it. Got her in the video with her bonnet on.
Yeah, I'm all like, wait a second. Yeah, this guy.
Oh,
Yes, for finding that too. I'm all like, no way. Well, we just saw the video with Mr. Derek Jackson with his wife with the bonnet on.
Oh yeah.
I'm all like, oh, I was like, that's what his wife looked like. I had no idea. I'm just saying, you know.
Crazy with this wool hat on. She got on a wool hat. Like, boy, if y'all don't stop it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what is she saying? What are they? What is?
Oh, I haven't started watching it. You know.
Here we go. Can y'all hear it?
See this and then not be right. I'm gonna go up and get her in a second. In fact, I might go up there and deal with her. Yeah. Hi. What's up, Miranda?
That's exactly why he did it.
Oh.
The very first video. I hate that it's the circumstances, but we just posted a video of the two of us, and we wanted to do a follow-up. Whose idea was that, though?
That was my idea, actually. So everybody who wants to hear me speak, I'm speaking. So I seen you, April. Yeah, I have a voice, and we will talk about it. We will dialogue about it, and yeah.
Starting to think this is a publicity stunt.
It's a bonnet. I don't think this is a bonnet.
I think it's beautiful.
Wow, you know, it's hard to tell that they're not in love.
So, our energy. What's up? Thank you so much. Thank you guys, first off, for the love. It is very, very difficult, not because of shame or anything like that. I dealt with shame. I dealt with guilt. I dealt with all of that. And nothing's ever going to make me feel good about the position or whatever. All the stuff that's coming public now.
Right.
But we're not in the same place as whenever this first happened. We're not in that place of guilt, shame. We spent so much of 2020 there, especially me. I'm the one with the shame and guilt. That, you know, once you kind of...
Why he feeling ashamed and guilty? I thought he ain't do nothing.
Right.
So with that, we understand that now, especially for the first time, probably in my life, I've actually cut every single cord, burned every single bridge. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of knew at some point that would kind of piss some people off, right? It would just piss some people.
What is he talking about?
You know,
Hey,
that girl.
that's a price you gotta pay. You can't do it your way. You can't do it in your own time. So here's what it is.
Also gotta pay is wearing a bonnet on live.
What, you know, we're hoping everybody else can do, or some that's gonna ride with us, do, which is move on into this new chapter with us.
Are y'all divorced or separated? What the hell?
You haven't
Yeah, new chapter. What?
talked to your people, but I just want to say, guys, listen, I am not over here distraught or messed up. Again, a lot of this information I had already known about. And when I found out, again, I left. I hightailed it. I didn't waste any time.
So he did cheat. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Right? And the dog, if we had a dog, I would have packed that up too. And I left and I stayed away for months and months. Okay.
So Michelle, this guy is Derek Jackson. He gives relationship advice to people.
I know everybody who's involved. I know all of the information. He was honest with me. He didn't run away from it or anything like that. So we've had an opportunity to deal with it. I've had an opportunity to deal with it privately for over a year at this point.
Okay, y'all. So are we ready to talk about it?
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sitting here like, I think it's just interesting, just all the videos with him, and he's just sitting there listening to somebody talk, making faces, and then all of a sudden he got everything to say, and it's like he's having that Cosby moment, you know, where
This is him.
Cosby was saying all this bad stuff, and then all of a sudden he gets called out doing the same thing. That's the danger of social media, honestly.
Okay, let's tell people who he is. For those who don't know who Derek Jackson is, he is a self-proclaimed relationship, expert. who
Coach.
got his fame through social media. He coined the term, black men don't cheat. He basically speaks a lot to Black women or women in general, how to navigate through relationships, how to increase your value, and things of that nature. He has a huge following, I mean, over 3 million people. He has relationship games like card games or whatever, books. And he's like the perfect man. Like the perfect
He's
man.
like what?
The perfect man.
That's what he's supposed
He's
to
like
be.
what?
The perfect man.
Are you putting quote fingers up?
That's okay.
You guys with quote fingers, baby.
I didn't know
course
he
I'm
claimed
putting
a black
quote
man don't
fingers
cheat.
up. Of course I am, because this bombshell just came out with this woman that he had a relationship with, and she exposed this perfect man, this relationship guru, that he's been cheating on his own wife, and he's been teaching women how not to get cheated on.
Right. I guess you got to speak from experience.
Well, and he said that they were actually separated, and that he didn't sleep with the young lady, and that he and his wife weren't together. Now I did have some questions about it, and I want to, one of my questions is, I mean, I know this is a near topic, but I just had
That's the question.
what do people feel about cheating? Like, if you have declared that you're separated, do you start dating in the separation part, or do you wait until you're divorced? If you know that you're not getting back together, like, at what point does it declare to be like you're cheating? And then, as she said, she knew about it, she dealt with it for a year or whatever. We didn't finish listening to it or whatever she has to say, but I'm going to go back. But what do y'all think? Like, is it, if you're still legally separated but not divorced, are you still cheating if you're dating or whatever?
One of the things that he's been known for saying is advising women not to date separated men, because they always have feelings, or they could still have feelings for the woman. That's why a lot of people were up in arms, because he was being hypocritical. But when he posted his video today, he said he really was not, because he informed the lady, I think her name was Candace, that he was separated and that things were not finalized, divorce, whatever. So he said he was being honest. So he was still within practicing what he preaches, so he claims.
Well, yeah, I guess technically the woman was the one who didn't practice what he preached, right? I mean, he
Exactly.
said
Yeah,
don't
I was
marry women,
saying
men who are like that. But if he's the man,
I'm actually inclined to believe what he says, because I don't know if you follow Tasha K. She's another blogger, and she actually had Candace on her show and played the entire conversation between she and Candace. And Candace admitted that when Jackson flew her to his home, she saw that the wife had some belongings there, but she also saw boxes.
Boxes, right.
And it appeared as though, she was packed, things were being packed and moved and stuff. So maybe they were in transition and she just didn't care. She also acknowledged that they were friends for over 10 years and they never crossed the physical line until this period. So maybe there is some truth to it. However, he was inappropriate with her. Because in conversation, because she played a video that he sent her asking her what kind of panties she had on.
Oh yeah, you can't get past that one.
Your
You're
question,
a Panty Salmon.
I think that's just relative to each situation, whether or not you're allowed to date. I think that's just we always say, it's a conversation that needs to be had between the two people. Are we taking time to sow our royal oats? Are we, getting some things off our chest so we can be committed to this thing? Or are we taking time to do work on ourselves, and that, we're not supposed to be intimate or be in other relationships? So I don't know if that conversation was had between them two, but I think that's, specific to each situation.
Right. I mean,
what are going to be the terms of this separation? I think that's a conversation that definitely needs to be had.
I agree.
Right.
Like
So
a
to
sit
me-
down. Like, okay, so what is this? Like,
So I think, okay, so I just went blank because I read Fabian's message and then I just went blank about what I was going to say. Fabian said, but didn't he cheat initially for them to be separated? That's why the wife said she left right. Well, yeah, in that video, it sounded like she was saying that she packed up all the stuff that she had to. Now she said basically, I think she took his advice. She took his advice and packed them. Like she said, if it was a dog, I would have took the dog too. So she packed her stuff and she went on her way. And left him or whatever. But do you think? Michelle says, I personally would not date a separated man because there's always a chance of reconciliation, which I always think that's in there too.
Right now you could tell that
if you date for purpose,
making videos.
Does everybody date to get married? I mean, suppose she was attracted. That was the man she's always followed. Hey, I'm with Derek. He wanted me and dining me. If you get back with his wife, so what? I'm having fun. Everybody, I don't think, dates with the end result of we're going to get married. This is going to be it.
Well, I think she was. I think this is what I was going to say. I think that she was just kind of a little bit pissed off. The young lady. I think she was pissed off because he cut her off.
Yeah, and then because she's got all social media.
Yes.
He blocked her.
He blocked her. Yes, and that's when she started sharing text messages and things like that. So I think she was just bitter. So I just think that she was just bitter, and I'm not saying that she was right or wrong. I'm just saying that it was just, to me, it was just bitter. And then she went to Tasha K. So when she went to Tasha K, I just feel like, she's all over the place, and she's wanting to hear the next best thing so she could push it, because she just messy to me anyway. She just messy.
Yeah.
And so, so she needed a narrative to push, and she pushed it. Because when
she said on Tasha K that she was mad that he blocked her and he blocked her friends.
Well, yeah, she picked the right person to go to. She knew that Tasha K was going to push all of whatever it was that she was going to say. Everything that she said, she knew. She knew who to take it to with her little message here. But
yeah, I just think from that video, she's like, "Oh, I already knew about this situation a year ago. That's why I left and got out of there." And I was like, "Well, there we go." Like Shelly said, separate people still married. I think that was their personal interaction. Cheating is relative, and in this case, that was cheating. For their relationship, she was like, "Nah."
And are they back together?
Right. That's
right.
That video made it seem like they were back together.
The video to see if they're back together, because I don't know. Well, okay. So then my other question is: does this discredit him? Do y'all think that he is going to be discredited from?
I think he asked her to come back to prevent him from cancel culture, because everything he has is built on Derek Jackson, the relationship expert.
Clearly,
him flying women back and forth, I think he said he gave her like $1,000 between the time they were dating, all this kind of stuff. All that's built on him being the relationship expert. Once that's tarnished, none of them have anything. So I don't know if he's still supporting the ex or whatever, but it would behoove her to get on that couch and act like she has forgiven him.
He's a millionaire. So girl, because she probably was like, I'm not gonna dress up and I'm gonna sit here, but damn it, I'm gonna put this damn hat on and you gonna have to look at me. Because if you want me to sit up here and tell the people to lie, I'm gonna put this damn hat on and I don't give a damn about what you're talking about. But I'm gonna sit here just like this, embarrass your ass and all. So she
right.
That's it. That's it. Because I was like, from this video, she a great actor, because they looked like they were still in a relationship. She all on the couch, comfortable. And I'm just saying, like,
even at home. Yep.
Yeah, because I was all like, hold up a second. I thought they were separated. What's up? And to me, it's just that to him, honestly, the fact that I didn't even know about his life, honestly, that tarnishes the brand already. The fact that now we find out that they were separated in the first place. Yeah. You over here talking about what kind of men not to date, and it's like, I guess you're the kind of men not to date. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the books that he's like the cheating books and I'm thinking, and then people were joking him, and they were saying, if you notice, all the videos he ever did was in his car.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
I didn't even know he had a house. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a secret that he was even married?
Well,
one of the things that I read said that nobody even knew that he was married.
And he never ever posted her until now. He never posted her until after he was ousted.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard him mention her, but I had never seen her.
No.
I ain't even seen him with a ring.
Right. And then she just said, these your people. So she's like, I'm not here for these your people.
Yeah.
And this is not a bonnet. And what?
I make an effort to show my ring. Even now I'm drinking with my left hand, just in case, everyone knows I'm married. I'm all like, I'm not over here making those kind of videos. I don't remember seeing a ring on his finger. He's in that car, making reaction videos, telling people who they should be dating.
You know what's funny that you say that? You know what that's funny to me is because I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but just like women up here, but I think that women who don't see men with rings on are more, it's almost like I'm more prone to listen to him, or I'm more prone to be around or take advice from him, because he doesn't, like, it's like, okay, maybe he's not married. Like, it almost appears like, okay, maybe he's not married, and maybe he's single, or giving the impression that he's single. So let me kind of like listen to what he's saying, because he has like 3.2K followers or whatever. And
over 3 million followers.
Right, like all this women. So women who find him to be handsome, women who didn't think he was married.
That's the main thing.
Right,
women
right.
Sexy. Sex sells. Remember.
Yes,
I agree.
Sex sells, and you don't have a wedding ring on, so I can look at you and wonder if you are married, and you giving advice in the meantime. And then
a lot of his audience are women who have been scorned, hurt, heartbroken. They're trying to rebuild. That's the angle. That's his primary angle.
Do you not think that was a conversation that him and his wife had? That it's not that I don't want people to know about you, but my whole image is women. Yeah,
I can't imagine having that conversation
on the couch. That's why she's on the couch, because she got to finish that situation.
Yes, because he said, "Okay, you gonna say something?" She was like, "These your people."
Yeah,
she said, yeah.
These your people. You know what I'm saying?
He pulled it in the little sweater necks, the sweaters he was wearing and whatnot. He knew what he was trying to portray.
Yeah,
definitely see it. Knowing that he's in a relationship, to me, hurts the brand.
Just like
I wouldn't be surprised if his wife told him, "Look, keep all that away from here." That's I wouldn't be surprised if it was an agreement for him to do his videos in the car, because it was a front. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, man, keep that in the car. Don't come in here with that mess.
Right, because you really scandal. You a scandal. You scandal. You a scandal.
The whole time. What if she didn't even know about it? She didn't have a Facebook or nothing. She just happened to get on social media and then find his video. Like, dang, you got how many followers? What you talking about? You talk about relationships. Hold up a second.
Mm-hmm.
But this man has made millions. I mean, the lifestyle has to show. She's reaping benefits somehow. I mean, come on.
Right. It was probably a 2-for-1. Like, okay, listen, I need you to fix this for me, please. And then this is what I'm gonna give you. And then she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna say this, but I ain't putting on my best. Damn it."
Because I think that bonnet was Balenciaga.
She was like, "Look, just come on, turn it on. I'm not just."
Yeah. She like, okay. Yeah, okay.
Do you think he should be canceled though? I mean, do you think that we should stop listening to him? I mean, I didn't listen to him.
People aren't, because now they see, he's, because now you know what it's gonna be. It's like, okay, if they are, he's single now. That's what that's gonna be. He's single now, right. And then if he comes back with because I guarantee you, because just listening to the things that he's saying and how he presents stuff, he's gonna come from a different angle of, okay, this is I've gone through this situation now, and then this is how not to get in this situation. So he's gonna come from a different angle.
I was gonna say that. I don't know if this hurts him with the advice he gives to women, because he's still a man. I mean, he has made the awareness. I don't know if this, because he can still tell women how not to mess up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it is gonna affect him with women, his credibility, because they'll still listen to him and he's telling them how not to mess up.
Because the sad thing about it is there's still going to be some women who say she wasn't doing what she was supposed to. That's why he cheated.
Exactly. And he's going to say that, and they're going to listen because he has videos out there. If you Google him on YouTube, go to YouTube and scroll down his videos. He's going to have videos on how to keep your man, interested. How to keep your man from straying. So I don't know if it's going to hurt his credibility. I just don't know.
I don't think because he got in front of it and because she spoke out. So also what people are looking at is like, okay, well, it must, she's speaking out. She's saying she knew, whatever the case may be. And, that's just kind of, that's just kind of what it is. But as we're talking about relationships, let's talk about another spicy, dicey situation. And that is The Bachelor.
Dun, 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 dun.
Right. Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell. And if you follow The Bachelor, our very first episode, which when we were doing our trial, is what we were talking about The Bachelor the very first episode. And we were talking about how Matt James was the first. I don't watch it, but I've read enough to kind of give you a synopsis of the whole situation. But he's biracial, and he is the first Black bachelor to appear on the franchise show. And it was the big thing was they were wondering if he was going to end up leaving with a black young lady or a white young lady. And when it came down to the end of the show, it was between three, but I think ultimately like two. And it was a young lady named Michelle Young, and then Rachel Kirkconnell. So he didn't give the rose to Michelle. He ended up giving it to Rachel. And once he gave her the rose, all hell broke loose. And he found out a lot of things that she was doing that was within the racist realm. He found out that she liked pictures of somebody's posting of the Confederate flag. He found out that she went to a plantation antebellum fraternity party, had dressed up and went to this party and all that. And so he decided, like, okay, I can't be with you. I can't be with you. It's not for me to teach you about being Black. And so basically my question is, because if y'all remember, he was making it his business to tell people that he was biracial. And then at the end, he was straight up like, I'm a Black man in America and I can't teach you that. So do you think, what do you think he learned about himself at the end of this? Now he's at the end. Do you think that he, do you think that he's now at the point of like, okay, like I need to really look, because his father was on the show and all that. And so do you think that he's embracing more of his Black side? Because I was quite shocked when he was like, when I've read some of the things that he said and really talking about being Black, and like she couldn't understand that part. And just even when I read her background, I'm like, I don't know how you thought she was going to be able to cultivate herself into your life anyway, because you're a real estate agent and you working in the community, in the Black community, and you live
inner city.
Yes,
he works in the inner city.
Yes, yes.
Inner city children, impoverished children.
Yes. And then when I read Michelle Young's bio, I'm like, that should have been your choice. Like, what was you thinking? Like, she's a teacher in Chicago. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Like, what was you thinking? Boy, what was you thinking? But anyway, so what do y'all think? Do y'all think that he got a real grasp of himself towards the end of this? And do you all think that he is going to end up with her?
I could start off and just immediately say that this guy, he would have stayed with Rachel if she didn't get canceled by social media. That's all I'm going to say. I could definitely see it, at the very beginning, the problem we had with him was he said, well, everyone's going to think that I'm going to pick a certain kind of girl of a certain race. And he did. And
which led us to believe, right, Amir? Which led us to believe he was going to choose a Caucasian woman, which he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then she got canceled. and then now he has to have a serious conversation about race. And he said it like he was shocked. I didn't think I had to have this conversation in 2021. And I'm all like, you mean right after Trump lost the elect, you didn't think you had to talk about race? What? That would be
what pissed me. What kind of pissed me off though was the fact that she came out, and at this point everybody is apologizing. Everybody's apologizing. So now she's just like, I just didn't think about it, and I just went on and did it. I did what I was doing, and I just didn't think about it, and now I'm just apologizing because I should have really done my basically I should have done my homework and research. Girl, you had to Google plantation. You had to Google plantation. You need
so
to Google.
Real quick, a bit of information that really kind of struck me was the fact that their sorority had banned those parties because it was racist years before this happened.
Exactly.
So her whole sorority was like, forget that. Who cares if they say it's racist? We're gonna do it.
Anyway.
Ain't no way they had it.
You didn't understand. You didn't get it. You didn't know. Like, girl, bye, and bye.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, I hope what he takes from this is, and I applaud everybody who wants to embrace their heritage. People that are biracial want to embrace every part of them. I applaud them for that. But for people that are mixed with Black, I just hope that he takes away from this that society doesn't see him as biracial. Society sees him as Black.
Right. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
It's
if you
the truth.
Can't pass white, yeah, they're gonna see you as Black. And now he has to pull up his woke card and no, Rachel, I can't be with you.
Right. And but not for his mother standing next to him, no one would know that he's biracial.
Not at all.
No one would know.
And especially if you saw his little brother. His little brother looked like a SoundCloud rapper.
Exactly.
So that's what I hope he takes from it, because in the beginning, when the show first started and those comments that he made, he was misguided. Like I was confused. Like this person really thinks that he's like mixed. Like he doesn't know. Like he doesn't know. You're Black. Like.
Right. Everyone sees you as Black. They said you're the first Black bachelor. They didn't say you're the first mixed race bachelor.
Right. ABC said it. And you want to say it? Give me a break.
And listen, this is what he said. He said this too. He said, you've got people, he said, he made it come, oh gosh. He said, you got people who are cheering for you to end up with a specific person of a specific race, James said. That's something that kept me up at night. I don't want to piss off Black people and I don't want to piss off white people, but I'm both of those. You know what I mean? It's like, how do I please everybody? And then, of course, he was criticized after saying that, because society is going to, when people look at you, that's what they see. And
also, how's he going to piss off white people by not picking a white girl? Is that what they want? Are white people out here saying he needs to pick a white girl or else I'm not watching the show? I didn't realize that's what white people felt. Right? He was speaking ill of them, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I think that because it was the first time that a Black person was on there, I'm sure that there was some people who felt like, okay, he's a Black guy, but let's stick with what we know. You know what I'm saying?
There were plenty of mixed-raced women who he seemed compatible with, including Michelle, who he turned down.
Right.
I thought that Serena P girl who kind of looked. Anyway, I thought that they were compatible, so I was just like, I don't know why he chose her. I didn't even see them have any screen time. They didn't even look like they were a good couple.
They didn't. Well, I just hope that he had an eye opener about this whole situation, that everybody doesn't see things the way he does. I mean, she wanted her 5 minutes of fame. She didn't think that this was going to come back and bite her. But it did.
Right. Mm-hmm. All right, Will, let me get back in. What you think, Will?
I have a very unpopular opinion about the situation. My wish for him is I want him to embrace who he is. and love who he wants to love and not allow himself to his quest for fame to allow him to go on TV to chase a woman when he know he really wants a man and had a whole man.
What in the world?
That man is gay as I don't know what. So
What?
Wait, was it the massage where he massaged his best friend?
Pilot. Oh, honey, no, honey. I'm sitting here looking at the pictures now. This dude is I don't know what. I mean, no.
I believe you, Will. I'm not going to sit there and argue.
There's plenty of receipts online. I'll show you if I can show you all the videos of him. Somebody found all the pictures of him hugged up with the little boyfriend and.
What?
I had no idea.
He likes.
Look, I'm not saying it's impossible.
What in the world?
Okay, so
everywhere you go, you gotta have on tight jeans and tight pants. No.
those were very tight pants.
Always.
Yo, I am weak. What in the hell? What?
Man, Will, you should have started with that. We talk about this white girl. Like, who cares about
I
that?
don't like outing people.
Going on with you. Why you not saying nothing? And then you come out at the woodwork with he gay.
About it online. People, this came out when the pictures came out when the show first came out. I only watched The Bachelor because Teresa Brown from 95.7, her daughter Kristen was one of the people. But I just kept it because I was like, well, when is these pictures gonna come out? I thought they were gonna incorporate it in the show, but it never came out. But
Because
every time
if he came out as bisexual, it would have been cool.
A nice girlfriend to have for me to hang around with and go shopping. But I never fell for it that he was a real dude.
Dang. Well, I mean, to me, it was
And it's because they asked him if he was going to be dating. He was like, "No, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to be dating. I'm going to just work on my, my business or whatever." That was the bombshell. Yeah.
Honey, I saw him trying to twist. He was holding it tight. I was like, this is for the move.
Now, I mean, he could be into both, right? It's not impossible that he likes both, but maybe he's more attracted to men.
I mean, it's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, now Amir, that it should have been disclosed.
It would have, it should have been disclosed, and then we would have been the first bisexual bachelor, right? Nobody would have been mad.
Now,
I say to me,
you know what though? What is funny? What's funny now that we're sitting here having this conversation, that was probably made for TV because it's like, okay, listen, you're really not going to pick any of these girls, but we need to put a black person on there, but we ain't really ready for no black dude, so we're gonna pick you, who like. Oh my! I can see it now. Like
definitely.
We're not
No,
gonna
you
pick your brother. We're gonna pick you.
Man. Like, so to me, it was the scene where him and that girl Serena were pranking his best friend, and then his best friend was getting a massage, and part of the prank was touched up on his neck, and I was like, "Are you sure they're friends? Because I don't know." Like, and the friend turned and laughed, like, "Oh, ha ha ha, it's you," and I'm all like, "That's not a prank." I was like, "That's an intimate, that's."
I don't know if you guys followed The Bachelorette, but either last season or the season before, The Bachelorette ended up with her ex-girlfriend.
Really?
Yes. She didn't choose a man at all. Now, she was on the show with all men, of course, but she didn't choose any of them. She went back to her ex-girlfriend.
Dang. Okay, so it's not the first.
Left the show early. She made
throughout that show, and they weren't over those girls.
Now I just wonder about like the overnight.
Throughout the show, all that crying, and he was struggling.
Yeah, I wonder about those overnights too. Like he spent the night with them girls.
Maybe not.
Well, listen, I know that we talked a little bit about race when we were talking about Matt James, but in talking about race, I don't know if you're familiar with Alexi McGammon, but there was a story that came out this week about her, and she is African American. She got a new job at Teen Vogue, which is the dream job for any young editor. She's 27 years old, and her job pretty much ended before it even started. So because of some tweets that came out, or they surfaced, that she tweeted 10 years ago when she was 17, and they were racially insensitive toward the Asian community, and she apologized for it. She had grown from it. She went in her college career, she became an editor, she grown as a person, but she lost her job. So my thing is this: she was a teenager. Like, do we forgive? Do we overcome these things? Do teens get a chance, opportunity to make mistakes? And I mean, what's happening here? Like, she lost her job.
So I mean, but that was the same thing with Rachel Kirkconnell. She was 18. So she was 18. So should we cancel her? Should we cancel this other young lady who, made the Asian comments? Like, and that was part of my, the same question that you're asking. Like, that's my question. Like, how far does this thing go back? And at what point? Like, because there's like, I watched a old comedy show, The Queens of Comedy, and some of those jokes that they were using were like it was some really, like, now if you can stand up in comedy and say that, it's going to be some really pissed off people, but we go back, and do we start canceling these people? Do we start canceling Martin? Do we start canceling Monique? Do we start canceling these people for things that they said in the past when it wasn't so, when it wasn't so prevalent, like, it's like, it was like, it was jokes, it was like jokes or whatever, and people laugh, but now it's a lot of, it's a lot of sensitivity that's happening. So, like, how far does this thing go back? Like,
for me, I don't have any sympathy for somebody, honestly, when something comes up and they're like, oh, I'm sorry for being racist in the past. I'm like, I don't care. Like, you probably ain't changed that much. Now you're just mad that people don't like what you said in the past. However, in this case, when she applied for the new job, she alerted them to her past tweets because she was called out for them in the past multiple times. And each time she was called out, she apologized. And so for me, that's where we have to draw the line. If you call somebody out and say, like, yo, you're a racist, and then they're like, wow, like, I'm really sorry about that, and they suffer consequences, then years later, they try and do something else, and you're like, oh, you did that racist thing in the past that you apologized. And then you're like, okay, well, I did, and I was upfront about it. Here's another apology. Nope, not good enough. Then she does it again. How many times does she have to get the same things resurfaced?
And Amir, actually, also, and let me just share this fact too. The CEO knew about it, like Amir said, and proceeded with the interview process and offer because she was so open with it. And it wasn't until the other people in the office or the Team Vogue had gotten the whip of it that they wrote a letter or email to them, to the higher ups, that the heat was put behind it. And then she sent another email saying, okay, I apologize, I was a teenager.
Too late.
All right, well, you're on the same page with me then?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Shanika.
No, go ahead.
No, I understand, there needs to be some type of regulation on this cancel culture because it's getting bad. But in her situation, and Justin and I had a conversation about it because everybody know that, working with Teen Vogue is about fashion. I think her tweets were anti-Asian and then homophobic. Everybody knows that homosexuals are in fashion. So she's going to have to work with these people. And they're going to have to look up to her. And I'm sure it hurts to know that, she made these tweets. They don't know if she still has these thoughts because even though she was younger, those thoughts came from somewhere. So whether she's 17 or 27, which I think was 10 years ago when she made the tweets, they still had to look at her and they could feel disrespected. That's probably why they were emailing the guy telling her, we don't want her in that position. As far in Asians are always fashionable. So I'm sure they're all at Teen Vogue. So in her situation, I think when it comes to how are your tweets going to affect the work environment, I think she had to go. Now, if it was something where she was doing something with dogs or whatever, and it's not going to affect the job that you're in, then I think there's room for us to talk about, is this something that we should hold against you? But when she's coming to this situation, she has to deal with the population that she was tweeting about. Then, yeah, to me, that was a no-brainer.
That's a good point.
Good point. Yeah. And
But
the story was behind it was like the fact that she was a minor versus her adult years.
Yeah, but I mean, at 17, you're not that much of a minor. You already, in your mind, you think you're grown. She thought she was grown when she was tweeting that. So we're going to hold you accountable
real quick
for your grownness.
Well, they were
to be a journalist. She wanted to be a journalist. So she had to be responsible for her thoughts when putting them in the tweet.
Makes sense. Well, she's paying for it now.
Yep.
Right, but I mean, my question is though, like, really, like, how do we? I mean, because like, really, when I sat there and I listened to those 4 women do the comedy show, and I was just like, wow, I almost felt like I needed to turn it down. I mean, I was in my own house and it was me and Walter, but I was just like, okay, but if somebody else saw this, is somebody gonna feel some kind of way because I'm watching this? Like, is somebody gonna feel some kind of way because they're saying this? Like, because it was like some derogatory stuff that they were saying about, different people and different, just different things. And I'm like, like, how far is this going to go back? Like, how far are the cancel culture going to go back? And then I told my mom, I was jokingly telling my mom, I was like, well, I just hope don't nobody come up here and be like, Shanika, you remember that time? Like, I don't think I had no time. And she's like, girl, nobody is going to come up there and say that. I was like, I don't know, mine, because this, people crazy. And just to get you, just to cancel you out or cancel you from saying, whatever. It's like, people bring up your past. And it's just like, okay, that was a moment of this. That was a moment of that, and it's just like, like, where does it end? And it's got me thinking, like, reevaluating my whole daggone life. Like,
well, right. Yeah, I think it's important because you have to be aware of what you've said. And in my opinion, I've been conscious of that my entire presence of social media. I've always thought about that. And when people back 10 years ago, oh, I got fired because of what I posted on Facebook. And there was a big argument about that because people were saying, how far should this go? And now a decade later, it's the same thing. And now we got people on Twitter. They go back to your tweets from 2008 and say, this you? Because you over here talk about how you love this or love that. But 10 years ago, you weren't. And, I mean,
no, what if it's not racist? What if it's not a racist situation, but you're just talking about a group of people? Like in Monique's joke, she was talking like, that was the time when she was plus size and she was all into like, these skinny, she was talking about skinny women. And, she had this whole, her whole, set was about skinny women. And then she went into talking about gay people. And, so like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think that it's going to go back that far? And then people are going, like, now people are going to, like, going back and people are going to start canceling her because of these jokes that she told way back when.
I logged back into
there
Twitter.
Are going to be people that won't work with her because of that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's just the nature of it. Some people are just going to choose not to deal with her because of it.
I dare somebody, I logged into Twitter recently and somebody had liked some of my tweets from 2011, 2012. I'm like, they're searching for something. And I guarantee you, they're not about to find nothing that I said that I wouldn't stand by today. So, I mean, if they do, then, I'll hold myself accountable, but I'm pretty sure I've been conscious of this my entire life. If anyone went back far
enough.
Are
you guys conscious of what you post because of this? And how long ago did you start being conscious of it? I've always been conscious. Because I've always cared what people think, unfortunately. So I've always been conscious. I have every safeguard. You can't just post it. I mean, you just can't post stuff on my page.
Well, I don't know.
You gotta prove your stuff, Will.
Yeah, you gotta prove your stuff too. You can't post your stuff on my page, and I approve everything, even the post that y'all saying, even if it's about the chat. Like, I gotta prove that. Like, it's not automatically going up there. And I'm not one to post. I'm not one to just post things, and I really do try to watch the things that I do say, but I don't think that it was at the cancel culture, but I have like thought about some things, back. So I'm just trying, like, I feel like I'm airing out myself. Like, no, before anybody can say something to you, this is what was what, you know, and you know, in conversation with people, because you never know if people are recording stuff, you never know if people are, you know, all of that, like it just, and then it could just get blown out of proportion, and then, you know, people ain't never gonna record the whole thing. They're gonna record that one portion where the beginning and the end, and all they caught was the middle, and you was like, bitch, please, you know.
And this is funny because even with text messages, Shanika, I don't know if you realize it, but you text me recently, and I did not text you back. I called, remember? I said, no, she's not gonna screenshot nothing and bring it up 2 years down the road. This is what you said. I was like, let me call her. Right
and I'm not, you know what? I would never. Okay, so let me just tell everybody this right now. Not unless it is going to benefit me. I'm not gonna. I would never. It's never gonna. This is not. It would never be a situation where I feel like I need to air out somebody. Now I come home and talk mad shit about you to Walter.
I know you do.
All right, stop before you dig yourself into a hole.
That you don't want on the front page of the newspaper. Period. Yeah. So I wish you will. If you want to say something risque, pick up the phone.
And pretty much like my main thing was I used to blog a lot, and I got about 3,000 followers, and all I did was fight with racists and argue with them. So like, you know, I think that was the most I was conscious about it. Like, dang, like this many people are paying attention to the stuff I'm posting. But even then, I was very careful. Like, I'm not saying nothing bad about nobody. I don't no personal attacks. I mind my business. I don't say no general statements unless I fit into that group. Nothing. Like, I'm keeping it real simple.
So is it good or bad? Are we headed in a good direction, or are we losing our freedom to speak?
I think we're in the same spot.
I think that we are losing our freedom of speech because everybody. Well, I think it may be good and bad. I think that people are being a little bit more conscious of the things that they say. But then, are you really being you just because you think that you're going to be on the count? Because I would rather know the racism. I would rather know the racist you than for you to sit back and pretend like you're not racist, and then, you know, we get together and you do some old racist stuff, you know, or say some old crazy stuff out your mouth. Like, I just feel like I need to know who you are. Like, don't pretend to be somebody that you're not just because you think you're gonna get canceled. Like, I'm not with that. But I think that people are being more conscious because and then I'm thinking, like, who is the cancel? Who are these people that's canceling the cancel culture? Like, who are
that to me is the key, because cancel culture doesn't exist. It doesn't work. Someone that is in power has to actually stop you and hold you accountable. To me, cancel culture is the continuation of holding people accountable that's existed for almost all of human history. You said something about the king 200 years ago, your head getting chopped off. You can't just, you know what I mean? Like, we've evolved. I think we're in a better place, but people just don't know how to act.
Are you screenshotting my text messages I send you? Yeah.
I might have a few. I don't know.
I'm just saying, there was a time where I could smack somebody up with a glove and say, I challenge you to a duel because of what they said about me. You know what I mean? Like, people have always been sensitive. People have been canceled in the past. They shot Abraham Lincoln. He was canceled. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't new.
So it's been happening. So basically what you're saying, it's been happening. It's just called something different. Like, they
just gave it a new term.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I don't know. Like, what was it in our what I know some of y'all know, like, what was it? So for 30 and over, well, no, not for 30 and over. For like 35, 40 and over. What was it back in our day? What did we call it? I don't even know. I don't know.
Like, you could get canceled back in the day in the church real easy.
You sure could.
There's something bad in the church community. I'm sure there's a word for it in there.
True.
You get put out of church
in a minute.
You get put out the church and you can't come to the church no more. Yeah. Everybody, the deacons, you couldn't even come to the church.
Right. Take some money out that collection bag. Take $1 out of that.
Okay.
Come as you are, but you got to dress fancy, huh?
I want to talk about your story. The one that you
Oh,
posted.
but look at the time. We're so,
we're already 8. We kind of went hard.
Time
Do we
flies
want
when
to
you
talk
having
about
fun.
Saweetie and Quavo real quick, or are we going to leave it to next week?
I knew it would get a part B. It's just too juicy tonight.
Yeah,
yeah.
I still got some more stuff to say about little Chris Harrison too, because you know he left The Bachelor, and I just got so
They
much.
need to replace that guy that did him. I didn't like him at all. I like the suit, but I didn't like him.
He was a little.
He can't write in about him. He offended me. He can't.
Yeah, he wrote that book, Awkward Conversations with a Black Man.
Oh, is that him?
That's him.
Yes,
Oh.
But I think they forced him. I think he was reading a teleprompter because I was like,
Yeah, I didn't like him. I didn't like it. He didn't click.
It was like really forced to try and keep the narrative like, hey, everyone's friendly here.
Yeah.
It wasn't natural. It didn't flow.
Okay.
It wasn't like a flow.
He just came for the last little part, like after the what was it, the after the last rose or whatever, after the last rose is given, whatever, or however they say it. He
After
just,
the final rose or something,
yeah. I think he just kind of came for that point, and I think to be quite honest, I think that Matt needed some support, and I think that they offered him some support with him because I just don't think that with all that Chris Harrison had to say, it was going to be no support, and I think that Matt, but I mean, we can't get into it, but I have a lot to say about Mr. Chris Harrison too.
Well, Chris Harrison basically did a Sharon Osbourne. Like
True.
they're kind of like,
Oh, did he?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Because what it was is he kind of with the antebellum situation. He's in the same
Did he out Matt?
Huh?
Did he out Matt?
No. What he did was he kind of justified or minimized the actions of what's her name?
Rachel
Dolezal.
So he kind of did what Sharon did with Pierce Osborne with Rachel.
Oh.
Yep. And then he tried to, and then he did, but then the person he was talking to was Rachel Lindsay, the black young lady who won the Bachelorette.
Right.
So she was doing an interview with him, and then he wouldn't really let her get a word in, and he was just like, we need to take the lens. Like, what lens are we looking in? Are we looking in the 2018 lens? Or we looking
I saw that.
21 lens? And so, I was just like, he tripping. I was like, because, with him saying that, like, he acting like he was like, because the woke brigade was not in existence in 2018. Is basically what he was saying. So, like I told y'all, I took it upon myself to Google all the racist mess that happened in 2018, so he could just be reminded that we were woke, because I don't know what y'all was looking at, but that was during the same year that the two dudes got arrested at the Starbucks. That was the same year that the lady was threatened to call the police on the little girl who was selling the water.
Yes.
It was the same year that they was doing the blackface. So, like, I don't know what news he was watching, because the woke gang. I don't know what he's talking about. We were, we were woke in 2018.
Right.
And
we were woke in 91 when I was born. We've been woke. They made a whole song called "Fuck the Police," and then now all of a sudden, people are angry with the cops in 2014. Where have y'all been for 30 years?
Right.
People have hated the cops for all of American history.
Look, me and Jan, I don't know if she's still up here, but me and Jan was at that concert, honey. We was at that concert.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, because we were in high school in 1991. So I'm just telling my age, but I
was in elementary.
You need to stop.
I'm just saying, Will, like they said, fuck the police back in 1991.
Amir, you're going to be in big trouble.
It wasn't me.
Sorry, yes, I'm young.
It wasn't me. Your mama is going to call you.
Yeah. So you just get ready. You should have did this. You should have did the quote.
I should have spelled it out. The kids are watching. My bad.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so This has been real. And I do want to promote. I have one little thing that I want to promote, y'all. My friend, his group is having a, I just want to promote this real quick. That's the Zoom. It's going to be on April 3rd. Yes, April 3rd. And it's going to be, it's some people from Germany, but all these people are going to be up there, and then they're going to have like an open mic. So if you're interested, get up there, go up there, and or get this information down, and so y'all can join it and see it. And then we're going to promote it one more time. And don't forget, guys, that this is, we have 2 more shows left. So you definitely want to make sure that you tune in, like, and share, follow, share, and like. Ooh, your mama gonna call you.
I'll be all right.
So you grown, you 30 now.
Yeah, I'm 30.
Happy birthday.
Thank you again. Thank you.
So yeah, definitely, if you are, it's open mic, and they're going to be doing poetry and singing and all that. So if y'all, I'm going to post it again. I'll post it next week. Will, I figured out how to do it. I'm so proud of myself. I was
So proud of you.
Yes.
Words can't express. Yeah.
All right, guys. So this has been really a good show. And I think we're going to end up doing a part 2 and just add some more to it, because it's just a lot. People are just cutting up, and then I think we're gonna have to find some more on this little Derrick Jackson situation and really see what is really going on and what they're talking about. And I guess it's going to be some more updates with little Matt James, and see if Will say he gay. So see if he come out or something.
Will, I agree.
I mean,
Google his name gay, and you'll see all the pictures come up, and the articles where they wrote where people were,
That's a good point.
I don't want to out. I don't want to out me. And
you said Google his name? Okay, because I'm gonna have to
Google Matt James gay, and then everything will come up. And definitely look at the images, because the images have him and the boy hugged up, they no shirts on top of all that kind of stuff, girl. It's all porn, so
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I want to change my Google algorithm for now.
Right.
I'll be okay. I believe you.
Some updates with the talk, because Morning came out on little Sharon Osbourne, and I think they just gonna go ahead and do away with the little talk, because more and more she done said some more stuff. So I'm like, she just got real indignant. But yeah, she done said some more stuff. So we got a lot of updates to do in these next couple of shows.
We're gonna all go audition for the talk, and we're gonna take their cast.
Right.
Oh yeah, and their audience.
One of our shows to the talk.
Yeah.
We need their audience too. They could watch us.
Because T.S.
our name anyway.
T.S. Madison got a contract with the
yes, and the big old mansion. Yeah, she got all that.
Yeah. Who is it that picked her up? What's
we? I think it is we.
We. Yep.
Yeah. All right then.
All right, y'all. All right, y'all have a good night.
It's been great.
Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you.
Yes, continue to share, like, and follow. We're really close to our goal of 1,000 before we close out this season. So please help us out. Thank you for all the new people that joined. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, make sure you send it to us at thechatcw@gmail.com. And until next Monday, y'all take care. Be safe out here. And we will see y'all then.
See you Monday, everybody. Good night.
Yeah.